All right, and we're live. What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 19. I'm your host, James, and as always, I'm joined by Mike
What's up, everybody?
and Phaneckswhy.
How's it going?
We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, such as the new Super Mario Brothers trailer and what we kind of think about it, which, in my opinion, I think it's pretty good so far, but we'll get more into that later, as well as give our VGA predictions on who we think, or sorry, not VGA predictions about who we think we're going to win, but rather what we think is going to show up, because, you know, VGAs normally have other things appearing, such as trailers, announcements, and stuff like that. It's more than just an awards show. It's almost like a mini, I I don't know, like a mini E3 almost in a sense, because a lot of stuff is announced at VGA, and as well as we're going to talk about Square Enix because they've been on a roll this year, and we're gonna ask basically and give our thoughts about what we think they're doing and how we think they're doing, and if they're back to their prime years. But first, before we get into that, I'd like to thank all 130 subscribers on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys. I did just upload a video of Fire Emblem a day ago, yesterday maybe, or a couple days ago. So be sure to check that out. And then Mike's video should be up by tomorrow for sure, where he goes over the December game list and what's there to look forward there, as well as all of our followers on Twitch. We really appreciate you, and all of our subscribers on Twitch as well. We really do appreciate you. All those subscriptions help us out in getting the equipment we need, the games that we need to go ahead and continue this channel rolling. I'm actually very excited for the new year, because the new year is where we're going to steam forward ahead and have a bunch of new YouTube videos and content going up. But without further ado, let's get into this. Phaneckswhy, what you been playing?
Not much, nothing new from last week. Still doing some Pokemon Violet. I did get it running on my PC just so I can kind of compare between the Switch. And
Okay.
yeah, there's a little bit of improvement, but not a ton. So you can definitely tell the game is not optimized. So I'm pretty sure Switch hardware could have handled it if they would have taken the time to
Yeah.
put a little bit more work into it.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree with you. And we do have more of that to talk about later on today. Mike, what about you? What you been playing lately?
Man, I'm still trying to beat God of War, bro. It's getting real good too. Like I was playing last night and I had to stop and I've been thinking about it all day and I probably won't be able to play again for like a
Hmm.
few days.
Yeah.
But that and I bought Persona and I'm playing that in the Steam Deck, Persona 5.
Oh, nice. How does it run on the Steam Deck?
Good. It's
Can
good. Yeah.
can you get higher than 30 frames per second on there?
I'm holding 50.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I play with it like I don't know the battery life because
Yeah.
when I play I usually play with it plugged in,
Oh.
especially like if I'm in bed or something like that. So I don't know the battery life or anything though.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because that's definitely one of the games I'm looking to get for on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it runs. It's literally the perfect multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Like I mean
You
not
mean single
multiplayer,
player?
Steam Deck
Yeah, I
game.
was gonna say
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
So you did a hack
Sorry,
that
I'm
makes it
tired.
multiplayer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
coming soon, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for me, I mean, what I've been playing is I picked up Final Fantasy 7 Remake again because I'm very excited for Crisis Core that comes out not next week, but the following Tuesday. So I'm very excited for that. So I decided to finish Final Fantasy 7 Remake on the Steam Deck. I've mentioned this before. I've beat it before already on PS4 and PS5. I'm just looking to continue it on Steam Deck and just finish it. So I continue that, and man, like that Genova fight, it's amazing. Like I was doing the Genova fight yesterday, and like with the music and how like it kind of tricks you. I'll never forget the first time I did that fight. Like you're listening to Genova music, you're like, what? Like this is not the original Genova music. Like why did you change the feel of it with the electric, almost like the electric slash like guitar stuff that they had originally? And then as you go through phases while you're fighting Genova, and then it gets to the actual song, like, oh yeah, this is where we're at. But yeah, like I really love that game. Like that game, I think I know a lot of people don't like it because it's not turn-based and it's not OG Final Fantasy, but I really think they did a good job on this first part in the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and I'm very excited for part two. But yeah, I've been playing that. Pokemon Violet, I continue playing that. Caught like a shiny Dratini. Now I evolved it to a Dragonite now. And then I've been trying to go through and kind of beat that. I beat already all of Team Stars. I'm at the final fight where I have to fight the boss of Team Stars. I beat all the gym leaders, so I have to do the Elite Four now. And then I've done all of the Titan quests. And I have to fight Arvin, which I did fight him live on stream, and he beat me. I just couldn't beat his last Pokemon. It just destroyed my whole team. It was like, oh, I'm here thinking I'm gonna win because I was dominating his team, and that last Pokemon just destroyed all my Pokemon.
I
So,
feel like they do that on purpose, dude.
oh, of
Like
course,
Yeah.
but like
they make you feel
put you in your
good, and then they
place.
like, yeah.
yeah, I mean the difficulty at the end has definitely spiked up, which I do like because even the final Team Star member, I died to her, and I had to level up some Pokemon and kind of get the right team to go ahead and fight her again, where I was able to beat her. But yeah, the difficulty does go up because the last gym leader wasn't that hard, but like everything else was pretty difficult. So definitely got some leveling up to do so I can beat Arvin again. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have the same issue. I had to fight the actually it might be spoilers, so I won't mention that at all. But I definitely need to level up some more because some of these fights are getting difficult now, which is good. You know, that's what I like in RPGs. I like how difficult it gets. Pokemon used to be pretty difficult, right? You know, I'll never forget like the first gym was always very hard because you didn't have any type advantage, but now it's just like for a while it's been very easy. So I like that this is pretty difficult.
You know what? You know what RPG really made me mad with the difficulty spike though?
What?
Like I stopped playing it is a Fantasian
Fantasian?
or
Oh yeah.
the on dude,
Yeah.
it went from like being like easy to like being impossibly
Yeah.
difficult, dude. And I'm like, bro, I'm over it. Like
Well, yeah, and first part of it was like it wasn't I wouldn't say easy. It was like very like normal difficult, right? Because there was a few bosses
right.
I did die, and then the final boss of part one was kind of difficult. It took me a few tries to beat him until I finally like found out like a strategy that would beat him because I was a little bit under level for that fight. But yeah, the second part of it is like super difficult, and I'm
I
still
couldn't
stuck.
even get past the first bro. There was a boss that literally I think it cast like death
Yeah,
or like stone or
Like
something like
instant
that.
yeah,
kill
Yeah,
or something like
like
that. Oh,
so it's like
jeez.
literally like so it'll literally kill a party member and then you have to revive that party member. By the time you revive the party member, it kills another party member. So it's just literally like an endless
An
cycle,
endless loop.
dude.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
You talk about what's his name? Is it Jasper or whatever?
I can't remember what it was.
But
Like I can't remember if it was death or stone. It was one of those two.
yeah,
Like because I know there was a boss that cast like stone too, and if all
yeah,
your party member turns to stone, you die
yeah,
or like you lose or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, no, that game
That game's
is
frustrating,
it
dude.
is, but I still love that game. I wish we could talk about that game more on this stream. Unfortunately, we
Right.
can't for reasons. You know, soon when I break away from those chains, then we're definitely gonna talk about that game because I feel that game deserves a lot more attention than what it gets
That's a Square
now.
Enix game, so we're
I'll have to
just
Yeah.
look
kind
into
of like
that.
looping
I
into
haven't
Well,
played it.
that.
yeah, it's not a Square Enix game. It's a
It's
here
not. I
no
thought it.
no, it's a Sakaguchi game. So the creator of Final Fantasy created it.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it has Nobuo Uematsu who does
Oh,
the
this is
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
soundtrack.
personal project.
That's
Yeah.
why I thought it was a Square Enix game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, what's up, David? Welcome to the stream, man.
What's
Um,
up, David?
yeah, fun fact, I don't know if you know this while we're talking about Fantasian. There's a part where this guy you go into a house in I forget what the town is called, like the town that has like all the water. Um and you go to a house and then you talk to a guy and it's like, "Oh, this book has some very good illustrations by a guy named Toriyama." I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
for real?
Yeah, I was like, "That's pretty
Yeah.
cool." And then you go to the books and it says all these books were illustrated by A Toriyama, which it would be
Yeah, yeah.
Akira Toriyama, the Dragon Ball Z person. I was like, that's so cool Easter eggs. But apparently there's a lot more Easter eggs in it too.
I'm
But
gonna have to look that up. There's
yeah,
not really a lot of it about that game online though,
no,
because
there isn't.
I look like for a walkthrough,
Yeah,
like to see what strategies to beat some of these bosses, and I could barely find anything,
no.
dude.
You have to go to like the Reddit page to find
I
some of
have a
that.
Discord. I found a
Oh,
Discord for
oh.
it. Like,
Yeah, but the game deserves a lot more attention than what it gets. It's probably because it's exclusive to iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
yeah,
But it's definitely, in my opinion, I think it's one of the best RPGs out there for sure in recent
it's
years.
good. It's
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, I guess let's move into our main topic, or not our main topic, but one of our main topics. On the discussion of what Phaneckswhy was saying about Pokemon, the Pokemon Company actually issued an apology. This is like the first time I've ever heard them apologize for performance or graphical things or anything like that, because they usually just don't say anything. But they did tweet out an apology and stated that they will fix the game, that they were gonna work on doing that because they feel that the game should be at higher quality, and they apologize for everybody for what they're feeling. I mean, honestly, like in years, I've never heard a Pokemon Company apologize for anything they've done. People have complained about Sword and Shield, they kept their mouth shut. People complain about Legends Arceus, they kept their
I,
mouth shut. Like,
I think it's because this one was bad. Like I was saying last
yeah,
time, it's almost like a cyberpunk,
yeah,
like at like level bad. You
It's
yeah,
know what I
it's
mean?
because
Like
it's broken. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
because the game itself is bad, it's because the game is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why they issued the apologies, because Sword and Shield just sucked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
Like, it
true.
wasn't
Yeah.
broken. It was just bad.
Yeah.
You can't be like, hey, I'm sorry, this game sucks. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
but but I think that's why they did it, is because like this one's actually like it's good but broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, but it was kind of like a half-assed apology. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it wasn't like meaningful. I don't feel like it was a meaningful apology.
Yeah.
I feel like they just did it to not get hate and to
Yeah.
like save face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they let it get released, so they knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
They probably had that press release ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. Like to me, I don't know. I don't think they had that press release ready to go, but I think they were probably under pressure because when you think Pokemon, it's automatically tied to Nintendo, and I think Nintendo pressured them like, hey, you need to say something. You can't keep your mouth shut because Nintendo always tries to keep like a good image, right? They always care about their brand and everything like that. And the minute you start hearing Nintendo and Pokemon, then they're like, whoa, 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 like this is not us. This is them. So I feel like that's why they apologize. And yeah, like Fan was saying, the game is literally like a 9 out of 10 game, but all the reviewers gave it like a 7 out of 10 because the performance issues are there, and you can't not like unsee the performance issues, right? Like the other day I was playing it and literally I started getting nauseous because of how it was running. I was like, oh man, like this frame rate is going all over the place. Like it was starting to get me nauseous, and I had to take a break. I took a break from the game for about a couple days because I was getting like literally like headaches and nausea from it. But
Yeah,
then
the stuttering.
yeah, because it does get like it's just the uneven stuttering just starts getting to you. And I'm not that guy who frame rate bothers them, right? I can play a 30 FPS game no problem. If there's dips every now and then, I can deal with it. I'm not gonna, it's not gonna bother me, right? There's some people out there that act like, oh man, this game is only 120 hertz. It's bothering my eyes. I need 240 hertz. Like, no, I'm not that type of person. But man, like just the way the stuttering, the pop-ins, all these different things that are just coming together, it does mess with your head a lot. But I mean, I'm hoping they stay to the word and they update it, fix the performance because the game is amazing. Like the game itself is great. It just needs better performance.
Yeah, and like when I was playing it on the emulator, like because you can see like the weird jagged edges on some of the
Yeah.
like outlines and stuff like that. Like none of that was there.
Yeah.
Like even though I was running the game on 1080p, so like a lot of that was fixed. I didn't have any performance issues other than like a few
Yeah.
few frame drops here and there. Like
Yeah.
it got down to 25, but it was running majority of the time at a constant 30, and
Yeah.
it was smooth pretty much majority of the time throughout.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely they can fix it. I mean, yes, I'm running it on a like extremely powerful computer, but it doesn't mean they can't fix it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some patches because I know the patch that they released really didn't fix performance issues. It was just small little bugs.
Yeah. Yeah. The cheating stuff that people are doing, like duplicating Pokemon. There's a video by what's his name? Forgot his name. He's a YouTuber. He does a lot of Pokemon videos. I can't believe I forgot his name. But he did a video on shiny Pokemon. Like there's a bug where you can go, and if a shiny Pokemon spawns, you run up to where it spawns, you capture it, and then what you got to do is backtrack. So you follow the exact path you took to get there. You save the game, shut it off, shut it back on, and then go back to the spot, and the shiny Pokemon will respawn there, and then you catch another one. So like you can literally get a bunch of shiny Pokemon, which is crazy. But I'm sure like there's that people already found item duplication glitches, so you can duplicate all these items and things like that. So they're more right now, they're focusing on the cheating, but they need to definitely focus on the performance stuff for sure. I mean, honestly, Nintendo needs to get it out there and tell developers just use FSR. FSR will help out the Switch for so much because they said they still want to prolong the Switch's lifespan. If developers start using FSR, I think it will help out a lot in terms of performance and graphical fidelity and stuff like that. So, but
I think they just need to start planning for
a new Switch.
yeah.
No,
Like
I
if it's
agree.
not already like in the pipeline, I think in the next few years they're
Yeah.
gonna be in a very bad spot
Yeah.
because it's it was dated when it released 5 years ago. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so.
No, I agree with you that they do definitely need to work on that for sure. Um,
But
yeah,
the Switch could have definitely ran this game better,
yeah.
100%.
Oh, I 100% agree with you too. It
Yeah.
definitely could, like, because we've talked about this before. There are other games on the Switch that have open worlds, even bigger environments, like Xenoblade Chronicles, and they run perfectly fine at 30.
Yeah,
So
or Breath of the Wild.
yeah, Breath of the Wild is a
Right.
perfect example. One of the first games on the Switch, and it looks better than Pokemon and runs better than Pokemon. So it's like, come on, you know. But yeah, hopefully they go ahead and fix that, and we get a better, just better performance overall. Because the game is great. I highly recommend playing it. If you haven't played it yet, I do recommend it, but maybe wait a little bit for them to finish those performance issues, for sure. But yeah, moving along, Nintendo had a direct and showed off the new trailer to Super Mario Brothers, the movie, and man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty hyped. I thought that trailer was really
Woohoo!
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks good. He's getting a lot of hate online, but I don't know. I don't see the reason why, because I think it looks good.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah.
direction that they're going is funny. Like it's
Yeah.
good.
Oh
Because
Oh
they're
yeah.
yeah.
making it to where like Princess Peach is just a warrior princess.
Yeah.
And Mario like doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing, is just
Yeah.
getting his butt whooped. And which is just funny.
It's like an origin story to Mario.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can tell there's a small scene where you see that like Mario and Luigi are like in New York. So there's definitely gonna be they're in New York and then they get teleported into, or like I don't know, they're fixing a plumbing issue. They fall out a pipe and then they land in the
Is
Mushroom
is
Kingdom.
that the actual lore?
Yeah. The actual
Is that
lore.
really
Yeah.
that's the actual lore? Okay.
Yep. And
I didn't know there was lore behind Mario, dude. I just played the games.
yeah.
Like the
I believe the first NES or the NES game, there's in the booklet, that's what it tells you. That
Oh, for
Mario,
real?
yeah, that Mario fell down a pipe and he's now in the Mushroom Kingdom, and then that's how he gets there. So yeah, that's the lore. But yeah, I like how they tied a lot of stuff. Like Mario Kart, for example. I was not expecting that. And you had the Mario
Yeah.
Kart scene. I thought that's pretty cool.
And there's
Donkey,
Smash.
Rainbow Road too.
yeah, Rainbow
Like,
Road.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, like how they did Smash, really,
yeah,
because
with Donkey
Mario
Kong.
fighting Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like
I thought that
Yeah.
was
it's
amazing.
yeah.
Like, it did remind me of like the intro to, was it Smash Bros. Brawl, where there's like they're fighting each other, and then you have like the whole like arena and stuff like that. It did remind me of that. But I was always wondering like what they were gonna do with Donkey Kong. It's like, what's the point of having Donkey Kong in here? And now we see why he's there. So I think that's pretty cool. They even showed Cranky Kong too, which is pretty nice. I wonder if they're gonna
I
show
think
Diddy
there
Kong. Hmm.
I think there's gonna be like they're probably not showing all the characters yet. They're probably
Yeah.
gonna leave like a few surprises in there too.
I hope so. I mean, trailers nowadays they show you like the whole movie. You just watch three
Yeah.
trailers and now you know the whole movie.
That's why I don't like watching trailers. That's
Hmm.
why, man. Like it's supposed to keep you hype, not be like, okay, you just spoiled half the movie for me.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. No, I agree. Yeah. But are you guys excited for this movie?
yeah,
I kind of am. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, especially if it does
I'm pretty
well, I think
hyped.
it opens up for like them to expand on the universe
The
since they've
Mario
already introducing
verse.
Donkey Kong and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
well, the Nintendo
Mario
verse, I guess.
Cinematic
Yeah.
Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
dude.
Mario, the new MCU.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, like no, I agree with you. Like I can see like or they make a Smash verse, right? And then you just have a Super Smash Bros. Movie. Nice. I'm just kidding, but I mean they could technically
I
do
don't.
that.
Yeah, not with all the characters, but like
Yeah.
with most of the characters,
Hmm.
like all the
Especially with
Nintendo
the
properties.
the Nintendo IP, like
Yeah.
throw Kirby in there.
Hmm. Yeah, I know Nintendo is trying to go ahead and they're trying to focus on other properties for their stuff. Like there's a rumor of a new Fire Emblem anime. So I don't know if you know this. Fire Emblem has an anime that came out, I believe, in the 80s. And there is, I believe, an English dub to it too. But they had announced, I think they announced, maybe I made this up, but I believe they announced that there is a Fire Emblem anime in the works, which would be pretty interesting. Because I think Fire Emblem would be a great anime. I mean, it pretty much has the anime aesthetics or the anime plot lines already, so I see why not. But yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Hopefully it doesn't go the route of like the Zelda. like kind of like cartoons.
Excuse me, princess.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
We,
yeah,
we don't talk about that or the CDI. Like that does not
yeah.
exist.
I remember seeing that. It's funny enough though that I think the Mario cartoon I do like it wasn't amazing, but it was entertaining, and I still like it to this day. Like I'll watch it every now and then. Uh, but yeah, like I don't think they would do it that way because if you see like even the original anime, it was pretty good. It was very I mean, I don't know, anime, right? It
right.
was legit anime. It wasn't no Zelda show. It wasn't even like the Mario stuff. It was just, a more mature plot line and stuff like that. So I know Nintendo's trying to branch off and make more money off their IPs. Because I mean, honestly, like when it comes to properties, Pokemon's number one, right? Pokemon has the number one IP. I think they outbeat Disney, right? In terms of like brand, the Pokemon company's number one, where Disney's number two, which is crazy. And this is worldwide. But Mario is like a very close number three, and Nintendo, because a lot of kids know Mario. They know Luigi, Princess Peach, and stuff like that. So I don't see why they wouldn't, branch off and do other things with their properties. Because hey, they have it. They have the IPs for
Right.
it. They might as well and bank on that
Well,
and get extra money for
they
that.
have some good IPs. They could do stuff with like Metroid Prime. Like if
Yeah.
they do like a Metroid Prime like series or
Yeah.
something like that, like
That would be
anime.
good.
Like you could even do like honestly, you could probably even do that live action if you did it right.
Yeah.
Like
Imagine if they did Metroid Prime, but in more of a horror like
that's
viewpoint.
what I was thinking,
Yeah.
like a grittier like Metroid Prime.
Yeah, or like if you took Metroid and like Dead Space, put them together.
Yeah.
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 They're
I can
never
see
gonna
that.
do that.
I know,
Yeah.
I know,
They,
I know. But how cool would that be
might
though?
make it PG-13,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
gonna be like Dead Space. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I mean,
How cool would that be though?
that
That'd
would
be
be
awesome.
dope though. I
Metroid
agree.
has really good lore too. Like if you follow the lore, it has really good lore, and it's funny how like the lore bounces around from games because like Metroid Prime is actually a prequel to like the
Yeah.
numbered Metroid series, which is pretty crazy when you look at it. Like it's like Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3. I think Metroid Prime Hunters is a prequel to Metroid Prime 1. And then after Metroid Prime 3, then fast forward and then Metroid what is it? OG Metroid happens.
Yep, and then you got Super
Then
Metroid.
then Super Metroid, yeah, then Samus Returns, and then Metroid Fusion, and then Metroid Dread. Yeah,
Yeah.
where Dread kind of ends everything. So yeah, which Dread has a good ending, and that means like in my opinion, I think they closed up the Metroid storyline pretty great with Dread. So like it's kind of done. And I think Nintendo also stated that the Metroid storyline is done. Like there's no more Metroid storyline at least.
So what? They're not making another one?
I don't know. I mean, they
Well,
could make another one, but it really wouldn't be about Metroids. It would have to be about something else, right? So like, what
Oh,
would you
so
call it?
I
Like,
mean,
yeah,
they could just retitle it as like Samus,
yeah,
because the point of the game is you're fighting Metroids.
yeah,
Right.
That's the enemy. So they would have to retitle it or something.
yeah.
I didn't play Dread yet. I heard it was really good. I
It
actually
is.
own
It is
and I
fun.
never played it. Yeah.
Amazing game.
That was the one game that when I bought, like I played it straight and didn't play any other game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And like I
It's
just
still not open. I have the collector's edition too. I
Oh,
copped the collector's edition, dude.
it's well worth. I mean, that game, like the difficulty is perfect. Like it's hard. You'll get game overs like crazy, but it has the satisfaction
lots of
of
game
like,
overs.
yeah, I died a lot. But like it has the satisfaction of once you beat like a boss, you're like, yes, but it takes time because like you start fighting a boss and then you beat like one part, you're like, oh, okay, I got this. And the next thing you know, they do some ridiculous move and you're done, and then you have to like relearn that second part of the boss fight, then the third part of the boss fight. But yeah, like that,
You're right.
the second to last boss fight, like I died so many times.
Yeah.
That second to last boss fight is really, really difficult.
Yeah, I 100% at the game. Like I got all items, 100% all the maps.
Yeah.
Like did all upgrades, cleared everything, then beat it. Unlock hard mode and haven't touched it since I unlocked
Yeah.
hard mode because I'm too scared of hard mode.
The
Or
only
dread mode.
yeah,
mode
dread
is what it's
mode.
called.
That's the one where it was one hit kill, right? That's or you die in one hit. Yeah.
You get hit one time, you die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like no. Like that's a no for me, dude.
No, I
I
guess
tried it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I tried to do Diablo, the where if you die you lose your character or whatever.
Oh no.
That didn't turn out well. So
Oh,
after that, I'm like, I'm
permadeath.
never
Yeah.
done. Yeah, the permadeath. Mm-mm.
No
Mm-mm.
thanks. But I'll say the only negative I have about Metroid Dread is the music. It's not as good as like the other music in any of the other Metroid games. So
It's a fairly short game too.
it is. I mean, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, when you really think about it, all Metroid games outside of Prime are very short. Like Super Metroid, you can be like in 2 hours. Oh, why am I getting notifications here? Oh, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Moving along. Marvel Midnight Suns seems to be a sleeper hit because according to reviews, it's a really good game, and I've been chatting with some people, and they were telling me that like it's closer to Fire Emblem than it is XCOM apparently. And a lot of people are saying like if you like Fire Emblem, you'll like XCOM, which I love Fire Emblem. You know, Fire Emblem is my favorite franchise. And the minute I heard that, I was like, oh man, like there's even reviews. I know, like I think comicbook.com did a review, and they're saying that like it that Marvel Midnight Suns is definitely closer to Fire Emblem, and the developer said too that their inspiration was more from Fire Emblem than XCOM, because of the way the battle system works. So they took a lot of inspiration from Fire Emblem, and I guess a lot of the developers are really big fans of Fire Emblem. So I was like, okay, you
Okay.
got my interest in there.
Yeah, I heard it was. I don't know if y'all played XCOM, but sometimes it can get ridiculously
Yeah.
hard.
Hmm.
But I heard it was like Midnight Suns is like relatively easier
Yeah.
than like Fire Emblem and like XCOM and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of makes
So
sense. Marvel property,
yeah,
so they want to make it kid friendly.
but yeah, they have different difficulties. But I heard even like the hardest difficulty is in like if you're a seasoned like tactical like like game player, like
Yeah.
I think it won't be difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, in that interview, they also said like originally they were looking at the triangle system that Fire Emblem's known for, and they opted in with the random card system instead because they felt that it would be too easy if they did the triangle system. Yeah,
Really? Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, yeah. So that means they did. It's still easy no
Yeah.
matter what, but it could have been easier because it's like I believe
Uh,
like as you play, it's just random cards show up, and those are the moves you can use.
yeah.
Um, according to what I've read, like I
A
haven't.
lot of people said it
Mhm.
was going to be bad because of that, but I guess it makes it good.
Yeah.
But it's man, I don't know. This timeline sucks, bro. Callisto Protocol sucks and Midnight Suns is doing good. Like, what is going on, dude?
It is weird how that's going, but yeah, I'm actually excited for it. Are you two thinking of picking it up now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll probably I have such a big backlog that I'll probably buy it on sale eventually.
Okay.
Play it on my Steam Deck when it like gets all the patches and everything to run proper.
Yeah. What about you, fan?
I might. I mean, I'm not a huge like tactics style gamer. But I might like try it out,
Yeah.
see how it is. I mean, I'll dip my feet into it. Like I just started. You saw me a couple days
Yeah.
over the
Fire
weekend. I
Emblem.
started Fire Emblem Radiance on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So
You'll love Fire Emblem. Like once you play it, you get into it. You're like, man, I mean, they're difficult, especially the old ones. Like Awakening and Newer are very easy, but like OG Fire Emblem, like Radiant Dawn and anything before that, especially Radiant Dawn. Radiant Dawn is hard. You play because I we mentioned this like in one of the very first podcasts because I was playing it there, but uh Radiant Dawn, there was a translation issue where they messed up. So on screen you have easy, normal, and hard, but the actual like verbiage is supposed to be normal, hard, and like extreme. So what happens is you go ahead and automatically like, oh yeah, I want to play normal mode. I don't want to do anything harder than that. Whoa, guess what? Your normal mode is actually hard mode. So
oh
I
god.
I beat the game on normal mode and it is difficult. I can't tell you how many times I died. I was replaying it on normal mode, and I'm like on
Mhm.
the fourth chapter, and I'm just dying and dying and dying. I'm just getting upset at this. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I beat
Why?
this game. You know, I beat this game like what, like 12 years ago or whatever. It's like, I can't believe it.
I should restart it on easy mode.
Yeah, so well
Is what you're
no,
saying.
Path of Radiance is correct. So the one you're playing
Okay.
is correct.
Okay. All right.
The sequel to that one, because that's the only game
Okay.
that has a direct, there's few games that have direct sequels, but that's one of them. The sequel to that,
Okay.
Radiant Dawn, is what has the issue for that. So you would want to
Okay.
play that easy mode for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, I think I might pick it up too. I'll probably wait though, because there's two big games in December, and that's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
a
where my
lot.
focus is. And then from there, like I do want to pick up Tactics Ogre still. I still want to play Tactics Ogre, and a bunch of other games. So it's like it might be a minute. Like honestly speaking, I might wait for like next year on Black Friday or something like that, because then January we have Fire Emblem. There's Fire Emblem.
And Dead Space
February,
remake. Hopefully
yeah,
that one's
that
good.
Dead Space remake in January. February has Resident Evil. Is it
No,
February or
March.
March? It's March. Okay,
March.
there's something in February. I can't remember now. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
and March isn't March Tears of the Kingdom too?
No, that's May.
It's May. Okay.
Yeah, I know there's something in February. I don't remember what it is.
Huh. I'm just looking it up, and apparently Wulong is supposed to be coming out. Wulong
Oh
Fallen
yeah, Fallen Dynasty in
Dynasty.
January as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
March. No, this says
Oh, it's
March on there.
March. Okay.
Yeah. That's weird. January. Let's see. Fire Emblem Engage Forspoken. That's the one that kept getting pushed
Yeah.
back.
I probably will pass on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
No offense to
I mean, it looks cool, but I don't
yeah.
know.
Nah, for me.
And then there's Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I'm gonna
Hogwarts
pass.
Legacy.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
pass on that.
probably not gonna pass on that. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan, but I think the concept is cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like that, I do have some interest in there, but I guess I'm gonna wait and see on reviews and see how it is, because I do have some interest for sure. And actually, while you put that up, I forgot to put in a list, because our next topic, it's about game releases. So I guess it's a good time to move into our next topic. Square Enix has been on a roll. All of us here are huge JRPG fans. We love JRPGs, and who's known for JRPGs like Square Enix? Like, I mean, there's not another company I can think of that's known for JRPGs like Square Enix is. And man, they've been on a roll. Like, they've had a lot of games that came out this year, and going into next year, they still have a ton of games coming out. So I'm gonna try to actually pull that up here. Let me see, because I have the release schedule here for Square Enix, and I just forgot to pull it up earlier. No, it doesn't have this year's games that came out. Shoot, let me see if I can find one.
Yo, while we wait, real quick,
Yeah.
I just want to call it out on stream real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Lalo, David, and me got second place in Warzone. I'm super proud of that, because I suck at that game, bro. Like, so yeah, second place, bro. Next stream, I'm gonna have a few first, hopefully.
Let's see here. Hopefully, there's no ads in this. Okay, so I can't find a good source for this, but I'm gonna try to do it off the top of my head. But yeah, Square Enix had a big year. So this year, they did have, in the beginning of the year, Final Fantasy VII Remake did come to Steam. It was already available on Epic Game Store, but it came to Steam, and they also announced it for Steam Deck that same day. They did, Final Fantasy First Soldier, which is like a what do you call them? A battle royale.
Battle
but
Royale.
that's closing down. They brought over Octopath Traveler, a mobile game, which is actually pretty good. I started playing that about 2 days ago, and it's actually pretty fun. It plays like Octopath Traveler. It's basically just Octopath Traveler.
What game?
Octopath
game?
Traveler, like something Champions.
Oh, the mobile game.
Yeah, the
No.
mobile game. Yeah, so this pretty good. That one's pretty good. They brought over Dragon Quest Builders to mobile as well, which is another good game there. If you haven't played Dragon Quest Builders, highly recommend it. They brought out Harvestella. We had a Harvestella that came out this year. It was actually, a lot of people are saying it's really good, that it should be played, and I'm probably gonna play it for sure.
Yeah, I want to check it out. We talked a lot of smack about
Yeah.
it, but it actually looks good.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. What else did they pull out this year? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Tactics Ogre.
Tactics Ogre came out. Yeah, Front Mission that came out. You had there's so much that came out.
Valkyrie Elysium I'm playing right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
Valkyrie Elysium, Star
Oh, yeah,
Ocean. Star Ocean came out. Let's see what else.
Nier
That's-
Automata
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Switch.
for the
Yeah.
Switch that came out.
And then
Was
Live
Replicant
Alive.
this year?
I
The
don't know
what?
if Replicant was
Near
this year or not.
Replicant. Was that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was this year.
Because I
It
know
might
it
have
came.
been earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think it was March it came out. So you have Near Replicant, also another Square Enix game that came out. You had the Voice of Cards series. Two of the games came out this year.
Yeah. And
Which
then
I know
they did
Mike has
the
played it and says they're
Oh
really
yeah,
the
good.
those are really good. Actually,
yeah.
I almost got. I'm so close to beating it, and I never beat it. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
a really good game. Yeah.
They did
Story's kind of
the
lacking, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Live Alive remake
Yep. Live
on the
Alive.
Switch,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then Chrono Cross remake. They
Yep.
did that
Chrono
too.
Cross.
So,
Yeah. So
I
they.
couldn't get
so
into
yeah, they had
Live
a lot of
Alive for
games,
some
man.
reason.
Yep. And then here's
I
some
gotta try
games.
again.
Here's games
It's
that
different.
they have in development or coming out by next year, or not by next year, but into the year. So you have Dragon Quest Treasures, which comes out next Friday. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which comes out December 13th. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, which I'm actually excited for. That comes out on Android and iOS. That's supposed to be coming out by the end of this year. Forspoken, which I'm not excited for, but they're working on that. Theorhythm Final Bar Line, which is a rhythm game. I love the music in Square Enix games, but I probably will pass on that. Octopath Traveler 2, which they announced earlier this year, that's coming to PC,
Definitely getting that.
PS4, PS5, and Switch. Yeah, me too. Final Fantasy 16 that comes out next year. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth that comes out next year. What?
Is that the sequel to the 7 remake, Rebirth?
Mhm.
Yep.
It's part 2.
It's part 2.
Yeah, the whole
Okay.
game is broken up into 3 parts.
Yep.
Oh, that was quicker than I expected.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna take like 10 years to release the second part. Like,
Yeah. And then they're also working on Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, which I'm excited for.
oh, that's super hype.
Yeah, they announced that last year. So hopefully that comes out next year. There's another Dragon Quest game that was announced, or it was like there's not announced, but like they kind of got thrown out there because one of the guys for Square Enix got arrested. So now people know there's another Dragon Quest game coming out, but we just don't know anything about that because he got arrested for the insider trading. So
I saw that.
yeah. So there's another Dragon Quest game coming out. We just don't know the name of it or anything like that. You also had Dragon Quest 12 came out. They did announce that last year as well, and that's working out. Or they're working on that. Kingdom Hearts 4 also got announced, I believe. Was that this year or last year? Might have
I think it was
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
been. Okay.
I'm not holding my breath for that one though.
Yeah.
I'll probably be 40 by the time that comes out.
Yeah. I don't think that's coming out
Like-
this year, but they're working on it. And then you have the
Oh.
Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, which is the mobile game, but it looks like it's played like actual Kingdom Hearts, which looks pretty cool.
Still need to be 3, so
And then there's also, I don't know if that came out already. I thought it did, but there's a Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai game that they showed off. I thought that came out
Oh, yeah, I
already,
saw
but
that.
but according to here,
Yeah.
it hasn't come out yet. So
if it's like the anime, then I'm all for it.
yeah,
I heard the anime is good. Yeah.
It is.
I started
Anime is
watching it.
fun.
I haven't finished it, but yeah, and the anime is a remake of the original Dragon Quest: Adventure of Dai. But yeah, so like they're on a roll with a bunch of stuff, and I'm very excited. Do you guys think that Square Enix is back in their prime, or they're in a new prime, or do you think their 90s, early 2000s is they're the top, and they're never
Well-
gonna top that?
We'll see. We'll have to see about the quality of the games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, at this point, like you can drop a million titles, but they can all be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you drop, like multiple tens, then like yeah, you're in your prime, back
Yeah.
in your prime. But
Yeah.
they're trying to get into NFTs too, so like that's a little
Yeah.
sketch.
Oh, David had said he's gonna get Hogwarts. So I'm sorry, I missed some of these because I was on a different screen, so I didn't see the YouTube chat. David said he's gonna get Hogwarts. Shu says Atomic Heart is in February, as well. Which is Atomic Heart? I'm trying to think.
That's like the first person game. It looks pretty good. I think it's coming to Game Pass.
Okay.
It's like it's hard to explain. You just gotta watch a video.
Oh yeah, and then David had said about he got third place and 1 second place, and then Shu said no that Replicant was last year. Okay, so that wasn't this
Okay.
year. And then David had also mentioned Monster Hunter Rise for PS5 and Xbox, or PS4, PS5, and Xbox is coming out in January, which is pretty cool because it's coming out of Game Pass, which is pretty hype if you don't have Monster Hunter on that. That's something else that we could talk about later on. But yeah, going back to Square Enix. Yeah, like Square Enix has a bunch of stuff that they have that they released this year and going into next year. There's a lot of stuff that they have coming out. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to top their prime in the 90s and early 2000s, but I don't know. Like I think they're going to bring all quality cuz Crisis Core is just a remake. So that's already quality in my opinion. And it's nice that they're bringing back these old franchises. I guess the biggest thing would be how do they do with the new stuff? And when you look at this, a lot of it is not really new stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree that maybe this is not their prime. They're just bringing back the stuff that they had when they were in their prime.
Well, yeah, they have a few things like Octopath Traveler and
Yeah,
like Forspoken and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
kind of like new IPs.
yeah.
But
Final
I,
Fantasy
I just
16 is new.
I'm like mad depressed, like because Callisto Protocol was bad. So like
Yeah,
I'm not getting my hopes up on
yeah,
like any games, man. Like I'm gonna see what happens like with gaming because like every time I get my hopes up,
hmm
it's bad. Cyberpunk hopes up, boom, bad. Callisto Protocol hopes up, boom, bad. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
It's just good
so.
to be surprised.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna watch the news anymore. I'm just gonna oh this is all cool. Like
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have faith in Final Fantasy 16. I've said this before because Yoshi P, he's kind of on point, and I don't think he's gonna bring out a bad game. I mean, there's always a first time for anybody, right? You know, but I don't think he would bring a bad game. Like he's been running Final Fantasy 14, and that game is still amazing. Like when you look at the single player or not single player, but the storyline aspect of it, the story is really good, and the game itself is fun. So I think that Final Fantasy 16 is definitely going to be a success. Octopath Traveler 2, they definitely look like they learned from Octopath Traveler 1, where the issue of that was
that
there.
was another disappointment, dude.
Yeah,
Like it was the mechanics were so good
yeah,
and then no story whatsoever,
yeah.
pretty much, dude. Like
It was just like mini stories because like each person had their own story, but there was like no discussion, no interacting. Like it was weird. David says Callisto Protocol is bad.
yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
bad reviews everywhere, dude. Like
yeah,
if you watch videos, it's pretty much like a few people liked it and most people did not like it.
yeah. But what else? Like I'm trying to think what else. So Final Fantasy 16, I do have hopes for. Octopath Traveler 2, I have hopes for. Dragon Quest 3D 3 2 HD 2D remake, I have
So I think
hopes.
you can't mess those kind of games up because you're
Yeah,
just remaking it. So it's not like you can really mess it up, you know.
yeah.
Like with Octopath Traveler too, like I feel like you can't really mess that up as long as you use like similar mechanics and
Make
add a
it better
story.
than
You know what
part
I mean?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
All you gotta, unless you have like a really bad writer, I don't
yeah.
think it's like it's gonna do bad.
Oh, I forgot the Deal Field Chronicles came out this year too. That's also a Square Enix
And
game.
well, that one was supposed to be pretty mediocre.
Yeah. I heard people said that if you like strategy games, you'll like it, but the story was just not there. Like the game is fun, it's just the story is just kind of eh.
I
So,
guess good writers are expensive, so when you
yeah.
make like a cheap game, it's either you pick good writing or good gameplay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, so that's a good thing you mentioned. Actually, before I get into that fan, anything you're looking forward to by Square Enix?
Uh, like this upcoming year,
Yeah.
or
Or even what's
I
already
mean,
came out from them, like anything else that you're gonna pick up? And do you feel that Square Enix is kind of on a roll there? Do you have like do you see like what's the right word I'm looking for? Um, I guess is
I
Square
mean the
Enix back? Like, is
the
this the true Square Enix?
I would say no,
Hmm.
but they're on the right path. Like they're heading
agreed.
in the right direction. They're
Yeah,
not like back to like peak of where they were
yeah,
back in the day, and I'm sure they can get there. Just like what Mike was saying, it's going to come down to original
yeah,
games, how well they do. If they're going to be knocking out triple A's like left and right, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10s.
yeah,
Sure. I mean, it's great that they're doing a lot of these remakes, bringing back all these like games that we played growing up. But I think they're doing that for like nostalgia, and I
yeah,
think that's kind of the thing. They're not dipping their feet into anything new too much.
They're not taking chances. They're
Yeah,
playing it
yeah,
safe.
they're playing it safe.
yeah,
But like, I mean, I'm excited for Crisis Core. I'll definitely pick that up. And I played Valkyrie Profile like years ago and had a PSP, so I'm kind of excited to play that on my PS5. And the new Valkyrie Elysium is interesting. Like I'm playing it right now, so
yeah,
it's definitely interesting. So
yeah.
they're moving in the right direction.
My only negative for Valkyrie Elysium was that it's not Valkyrie profile. You get what I'm saying? Like the combat and everything. Like I really liked Valkyrie profile's combat. It was very unique where, each character is assigned to a button. You have like an ATB bar, and then basically you attack as long as that bar has, I don't know, energy, or as long as it has like whatever inside that gauge. And I thought it was pretty cool. And then of course, like depending on your combos you do, you'll knock that back. You'll get crystals. They'll fill the bar, so it'll allow you to hit even longer. And I thought that was a very unique way of combat. And of course, they didn't do that. I guess the only game that has that now that I can think of that came out in recent years was Indivisible, which is great. It has the same combat as that. It's very Valkyrie profile. If you haven't played Indivisible, I highly recommend it. It's basically Valkyrie profile combat. The exploration in the world is Valkyrie profile. It's just Valkyrie profile. So like I wish they would have brought that back. I get it that they're trying to get that IP to kind of reach out to like other people, people who are into like the action genre. They very well, it very much looks like they want Valkyrie to be a Nier game, because it reminds me a lot of Nier. So that's my only negative about that. Star Ocean, on the other hand, I did enjoy Star Ocean. I was playing the demo on PS5, and I did like the intro stage, and I really do enjoy that. I do want to pick it up. I'm upset because I was going to pick it up on PC so I can play on Steam Deck, but apparently it's broken on Steam Deck, so like it's not worth my time. So I'm going to have to pick it up on PS5, and the thing about PS5 is I don't get to play it as much. So like, I guess I could remote play, but I don't want to remote play. I remote played
too big, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I remote played Final Fantasy VII Remake, like my first playthrough.
Ooh.
The majority of the time I played was through remote play, so it wasn't that bad. But
I'm getting fiber tomorrow, so I'm gonna test out remote play and stuff to see how it works.
Oh, you'll know it's a huge difference on iPhone. Like it runs better on iPhone than it does on Android. That was the first thing I found out. I tested it out on both, and it runs a lot better on iPhone than Android for sure. But yeah, Star Ocean was is positive note, so that's that. So I don't know. Like I think they're getting there. I guess we'll really know if Square Enix back when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, right? Because it's a brand new game, brand new Final Fantasy game, and 15 was I enjoyed it, but it definitely wasn't there, like especially compared to previous Final Fantasies. And then the 13 trilogy it wasn't that great.
It was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they picked a bad main character to make 3 games on. Like you had so many other characters to do it on.
Oh yeah, some of the other characters were definitely way more interesting than Lightning. I mean, but yeah, and they went crazy with that. Like
like you pick such a mediocre character, and they're trying to make it happen. It's like, bro, it's not gonna happen. Like you know what I mean? Like
exactly. So I guess we'll wait and see. But on the side.
Go ahead. Like the guy who is like the project director of Final Fantasy 13, who's like, I promise you, it's gonna work. Just keep going at it. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Let's just keep doing it until they like it. Like
that's true.
He has to get like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
But I mean, for real though, like Final Fantasy 13-2 was definitely way better than part 1. Like, and I'll fight that. Like I think 13-2 was the best out of the 3. The story was better. They definitely brought some like Chrono Trigger moments in there where they're jumping through timelines, and I think that's what kind of interested me. It's just some of the stuff was kind of like, and then the ending was great because like the way the ending happened, like, oh man, like what's going on? And then you play Lightning's Returns, and you're like, oh man, like this is what that led to. Like this is not what I wanted it to happen. Like it was like the ending was amazing because it was a shocker the way it ended. Like the true ending, because there's like multiple endings depending on how you go through the timelines, but the true ending was amazing, and then it leads to something you think it's gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be bad, and then next thing you know, like Lightning Returns comes in, and you're like, wow, this is dumb. Like like you got me all hyped. Mediocre. Yeah, it's like you got me so hyped for this ending, and then you end the trilogy with this crap. Like, but yeah, On a side note of that with Square Enix, they did announce though they're not gonna be focusing on Japanese stuff. So what do you think about that? They said that Japan is not a focus for them anymore.
This messed up, dude. You're literally like forsaking your core audience in order of greed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you're just trying to make Western style games because Western style games sell.
Yeah.
Which as a business, I can see why, but at the same time, you should at least devote some to your fan base. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Everything's getting too greedy for me, man. I'm just gonna pull out my NES and play old games.
I'm with
Like,
you on that. It's a lot better
yeah,
better games on SNES in my opinion than nowadays. Like I look at my
yeah,
library of games, I'm like, man, like these games are like you get hyped for them. Yeah, oh yeah, they're like 8 out of 10 games. But then when you like start comparing them to SNES games, like man, these games are probably like 5 out of 10 games instead. Like you know,
right.
y-
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, dude. It's
yeah,
just like, it's like back then everything used to hit because they actually put like love
yeah.
and care into it. Now they're just trying to make a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So,
I agree 100%. Like in my opinion, a lot of like I think arena shooters are still like top notch. Like older Halo, right? That's a good example. Older Halo versus new Halo. Like
oh man,
Halo 2
not even a
still yeah.
comparison, dude. Like,
Halo 2 is still very fun to play.
dude,
Battlefield
Halo 2,
older
Halo
Battlefield to
3.
me is still better than what they have going on now. Um,
Yeah, man.
Black
All
Ops
those games are
2.
so good, dude.
And then if we start going even more back, like I guess the only games, again, not this sounds weird, but the only games I can say they are still good in quality are Nintendo first party games. Um, so like Mario Odyssey, right? Amazing game. It has the Mario feel to it. Breath of the Wild, amazing game. A lot of those like core first party games are still amazing games today, and they still hold up like their previous IPs. Um, but yeah, like it's like quality's going downhill. Pokemon. Pokemon is technically a first party, but not really. I guess you could consider them second party because even though Nintendo owns a small portion of the Pokemon company, Pokemon's developed completely by the Pokemon company, and Nintendo really doesn't have a big say on what they do there. So like,
Well,
mhm,
they do have a big say though because they're shareholders.
they are, yeah, it's true. They are
So
shareholders. Yeah,
so they actually have 30% of the say. And
yeah,
like what happens, I think they own 30% of the Pokemon company.
yeah,
So
yeah. Because Pokemon company is divided between the Pokemon company itself, Nintendo, Creatures, which is separate. They're a developer, and then Game Freak. So yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. A lot of people don't know of all the things that go into the Pokemon games. There's like four different hands in that pot there.
Yeah. But and honestly, Nintendo probably has the biggest say
Yeah,
because they could be like, okay, you're not releasing it on our
yeah.
product. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I don't
Like,
know because like with that, I don't know because what if like Game Freak is just like or Pokemon company's like, well, we're really gonna set on the PS5 instead.
yeah, but so Pokemon's geared towards kids, PS5's
Yeah,
not. You
that's
know what I
true.
mean? Like
Yeah,
a lot of kids have like a Switch versus a PS5. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so
But
it would
but
it would work, but I don't
yeah,
think the sales would be the same. I think the
probably
sales would be
not.
like way lower on a PS5.
Probably not. I mean, I agree with that, but it's like one of those double-edged things, right? Like it might not be
And
the
I
same, but
think
it might push PlayStation sales too.
because it would have to be if they own 30%, I don't even think they could put it on a PS5 legally unless everyone votes in favor of it,
Yeah.
which I highly doubt. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like,
maybe. I mean, because like Octopath Traveler was funded by Nintendo. I mean, I guess it's a little bit different, right? But Octopath Traveler
yeah.
was funded by Nintendo, and then it moved to Xbox and PC, and it's not on
Yeah,
PlayStation
but you
yet,
don't
is
have
it?
20 years of history. Yeah, but you don't have 20 years of history on an
Yeah, that's true.
exclusive
But exclusive,
platform, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
that's true. I mean, who knows?
so
Have
when's
you
the first
won?
when did Red and Blue come out? What, 99 or something? 98?
Yeah.
Mm,
Something like that?
something like
It'd
Yeah.
that.
be
I,
something major would have to happen for
I
that to cause a
was
divorce between the two.
Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
fourth grade when Red and Blue came out.
As I
So
was like young, dude.
yeah, I was like,
Like I barely remember those
yeah,
games. So like, and I'm 30. So it's like it had to be. It's probably over 20 years. It's probably like 25 years.
yeah, no, yeah, I was because I was in fourth grade, so I would have been like 9 years old. So that would have
Almost
been
30 years. Wow.
like
Yeah.
97,
Yeah,
right?
it came
I
out in
think
nine. It came out. It says it came out in '96.
96. Okay,
So,
yeah.
geez. So in another 3 more years, it'll be 30 years.
Oh man, old man, we're
Yeah.
old.
So what? 20? Yeah, bro. I was young, dude. I was 4. You know
Uh,
what I mean? Like when those came out.
yeah, no, I was in fourth grade because I definitely remember that because like my fourth grade teacher was like, "What's all these Pokemon stuff? Like, why are you kids into Pokemon?" And we had like a whole
Right.
discussion like the first like 30 minutes of class, like it's Pokemon. Miss Keener.
I remember that.
We had to explain
Yeah.
everything. Like, it has cards and all this stuff. Like, we had to explain all the stuff, the games, the anime, all that.
I
But
was
yeah,
obsessed with Pokemon when I was a kid, dude.
yeah. Oh yeah, me too. I was very obsessed, more than I am now.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
David says he was non-existent at that time.
I was
Yeah. Yeah, those were the good old days with quality JRPGs in those days. We had quality JRPGs like
quality.
Breath of Fire, amazing RPG. Oh man, we need more games like that. But yeah,
All right.
uh, but yeah, it's kind of like with Square Enix like forsaking like their core audience. I agree. Like what got Square Enix to where it's at is the JRPGs. Like everybody, when you think of Square Enix stuff, you think of JRPGs, right? You think of Final Fantasy, you think of Dragon Quest, you think of like Front Mission, you think of what other games did they come out with? Secret of Mana, that those games.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Chrono
Yeah.
Trigger, the Chrono games, Valkyrie Profile games, Star Ocean games. There's some other ones out there I can't think of right now. But yeah, it's really all JRPGs, and when people tell you what's your favorite Square Enix game, what do you say? Like Final Fantasy 7, right? You're automatically thinking of these games. You're not thinking of what used to be
Lightning
owned by
Returns.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not thinking of like these westernized games, right? Lightning Returns or Final Fantasy First Soldier Battle Royale, right?
Right.
Or even like when they had bought
So I think
yeah.
it's just because we also grew up with it. I guarantee you, in like a few
20, 30
years,
years.
people are gonna be saying like, oh, because some people we grew up with that,
Yeah.
whereas kids now grew up with what, the 360.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's gonna be a lot of like 360 PS3 era games being like, oh yeah, like this is my favorite because I grew
Yeah.
up with it. Like I remember Geo. I talked to Geo
Yeah.
about it. Like he's like, oh, I grew up on Reach. He's like, it's the best one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, get out of here, bro. It's not the best one.
Yeah. That's true. A lot of these kids are like, yeah, like Skyrim. Oh, Skyrim's an amazing game. I'm like, yeah, Skyrim's good. Yeah. It's not that
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No, you start mentioning
yeah.
games and they don't know.
Never really played it.
Yeah. You never
Skyrim?
Skyrim?
Yeah.
Oh, me neither.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
I've tried like 50
it's
times to
good.
get into it and I can't. Like,
I think it was good at the time. Going back now, it's kind of hard to get into. But like when it first came out, because the open world thing was still relatively new in like 2011,
mhm.
I think it was great.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
Especially if you like role play in your head, like like in the game and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like it's literally the best like Dungeons and Dragons simulator
so
you could probably like want.
one of one of my biggest thing, and it's probably one of like you're saying, like at the time it was amazing, but to me, like I was playing it last year or maybe the year before that. I was trying to get into it. I was like, you know what, I need because I'm not into Western RPGs. They're very difficult to get in. Like if you're not Mass Effect, I don't want to play you. Like it's the only Western
Right.
RPG, and even then, that's a little bit more action based.
You didn't like Fallout?
No, couldn't get into Fallout. Bethesda games
Really?
outside of Doom, I can't get into. Like I've tried like millions of times. I did like the mobile game,
Have you
the Elder
tried
Scrolls mobile
modded
game.
Fallout or Skyrim?
No, no, I
I think
haven't.
you would like those games if you tried modded.
Well,
Like,
maybe because like so I was
yeah,
playing the special edition of Skyrim, and I'm here walking around. I'm like, okay, I gotta find somebody, and then I go to an NPC, and then I go to the next NPC. It's like, didn't I just talk to you? Like you have the same exact face and the same exact voice as the other
yeah,
guy, which I found out there's only like 5 voice actors in the whole game. So like
yeah.
everybody sounds
They all
exactly
sound
like.
the
Yeah. So I'm like going through these guys. I'm like, I'm lost. Like all these guys look alike. So but
That's
I
racist, bro.
no, their models are exactly the same, dude. Like they're exactly the same. But yeah, I just couldn't get in. I couldn't get into it. I've tried.
No, I feel you. It definitely like if you're not into it, it's definitely hard.
Yeah.
Well, you say you just tried to play it like recently?
Oh no, I tried originally in like 20 like 12 or something, like a year after it came
Okay.
out. I tried, couldn't get into
Because
it.
now it's hard. I tried to start playing Fallout 3
Yeah.
again, and with zero mods, it's like the worst game ever made, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like the writing is great,
Yeah.
like and everything. Like the quests are great, but like everything's green. The graphics suck. Like and all it's the same. The character models, pretty much are all
Yeah.
the same. You know what I mean? Like so, yeah. No, I feel you on that now.
Yeah,
But back in the day, nah, because it was like the best thing since sliced bread.
yeah, because I was trying to do like an axe build, like an axe and a shield. And I was like, man, I cannot. And I just switched to the bow and just start playing like pretending it's a first person shooter and just
You
shooting
did
bows.
you did what everybody does, bro. You start out as a warrior and you
Yeah,
turn into a
I know.
bow assassin, bro.
Yeah, because that's the only way to like. Because the combat in the game is so clunky. Like, like if you're not using a bow, you just can't play. It's very difficult to play.
Bro, it's literally the stages of Skyrim, dude. You think you're gonna start out this way, and then everyone just ends up using a bow, like, or being like a wizard or something. Like,
David says he was obsessed with Skyrim.
yeah,
I'll have to
dude,
take a look into that and see if I can
modded
play
Skyrim. If you
modding
can mod it
Skyrim. Yeah.
Skyrim, it you can add so much stuff that makes it so much better in this day and age too. Same with Fallout 3. I was playing Fallout 3 on my Steam Deck, so I couldn't really mod it, but like Fallout 3 has some really good mods to where everything doesn't look green,
You,
which I think that's the biggest like thing for me on Fallout 3 is like literally everything. Well, I don't know why they chose that style to have like a
yeah.
green tint. Like,
So you know what's a good game? It's a Japanese game, but that was Western RPG inspired, and it's amazing. Dragon's Dogma. I'm
oh
not.
yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard about that game. I heard it's good. I actually never played
Yeah,
that one.
it's amazing. Like so that game I got because a lot of like their influence was on Skyrim, right? Like that was the biggest influence, and
Yeah.
they mentioned it out there. It's like okay, I couldn't get into Skyrim. Let me try this because it's a Japanese game, so more than likely it's gonna cater to me. And man, the game's amazing. Like it's open world. The combat is just where it shines though, because the combat is action based, but like you can climb these monsters. Like you have to fight like giant cyclops that just roam the world. And there's a couple ways to go by it, right? You can start cutting at their legs, and then you do enough damage, they'll fall down. You could climb up, or you could climb up to their head, and just start hitting them in the eye. Like there's so many ways to go about things. Like one of the first boss fights is a Hydra, and I was like, man, this Hydra is just like beating at me. So I just go and jump on the back. I start climbing the head, and I just keep hitting the head, and then you cut off one of the heads, and you just start moving on to the next head, and so forth. But yeah, like it's an amazing game. They have like something called the pawn system. So your party members are what they call pawns, and basically you go to I forget what it's called, but like there's this area you go to, and you can go ahead and recruit other people's pawns. So like I create a pawn, right? You create your main character, and then you create a pawn, and your pawn is your traveling companion. And then let's say you guys create each your own pawn. So then when I go to this place, I can recruit your guys' pawn to my world, and then basically you got your guys' pawn will be in my world, and I use you as my party members, and then that's how you get party members, and then you could choose different classes and so forth. There's advanced classes they level up into. You can like mix classes, so like you could be like a knight, and then maybe you want sorcery stuff with it, so then you become like a I forgot what they call it. I think it's like a sorcery knight or something like that, where you can do both magic and of course you fight with a sword and shield stuff like that.
Spell
So
sword.
yeah, basically like a spell
Yeah.
sword. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like Dragon's Dogma is amazing. If you haven't played it, highly recommend it. It's available on PlayStation, Xbox, PC. You can play it on Steam Deck, even though it doesn't say it's not verified. I have it on my Steam Deck, and it does play fine. It's also available on Switch. Highly recommend it for sure.
I'll
Uh,
have to check that out.
but
I
yeah,
have to take a look at it. I know there's a Netflix show, so definitely have to take a
yeah,
look.
there's a Netflix show, and then they did also announce Dragon's Dogma 2 coming out too. So that's cool that it's coming out. But yeah, last topic of the day, because we did kind of stray off our Square Enix topic there. VGA predictions. Any last predictions? They did announce it. This was breaking news also. Mike found that out and sent that over. Where basically, VGA or the Video Game Awards are going to be shorter than usual. They're usually about 3 hours long, but it looks like they cut out a lot of like extra stuff. They also said they're going to have as many announcements as they have previously, which to me I'm okay with because there was a lot of filler announcements in the Video Game Awards that nobody cared about. You had like an ad, I believe last year, you had literally like maybe a total of like 5 minutes of ad space dedicated to just Nintendo Switch trailers, and it's just the Nintendo Switch console. It's like, come on, like everybody knows this already. Everybody has the Switch already. Like, why are you showing me these
Right.
trailers? So I think that's fine. I just hope they don't they don't speed it up to the point where they're showing less rewards. if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So
Like,
mhm.
I think, yeah, I think they might have shortened it, like, and got rid of the ads, but they also said that there's not going to be as many announcements. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think maybe like it's just been getting bad reviews. Like, I mean, like bad
Yeah.
watch rates or
Well,
whatever
no,
it's
I
called.
believe they said the last VGAs, they had the most people. They have more people that tuned in than any other VGA. So
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, because it's been growing year over year. So I'm not exactly
Yeah,
sure why. Maybe he just couldn't get a lot of publishers on board or something. I don't know. It's
yeah.
interesting. But yeah, any last minute predictions? Like, do you think that anything meaningful is gonna be showed off?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's just going to be some like C tier games, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like anything crazy. Like I don't think they're gonna show like Breath of the Wild or something there.
Yeah. Well, probably some indie stuff.
Or not Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom.
You
Sorry.
don't think so?
Mm.
No.
I
So
think
fun.
Tokyo Game Show's coming up soon.
No,
I
Tokyo
think
Game Show
that's
is
what.
in September.
Or there's something coming.
Yeah.
No, it's not Tokyo Game Show. It's one in, I think it's Germany.
No,
They have a big one.
Gamescom is in August.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? I think there's another one before May.
I mean, there's
Mm.
CES, but that's more about technology, not
Yeah.
video
Yeah,
games.
and then Mobile World Congress comes
Yeah.
in right after that.
So I don't know.
Hmm.
I think like if they're showing that, it might be like a direct or something like they've been
Yeah.
doing. So, and I don't think any games are really ready that release like next year really ready to be shown quite yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they'll drop like a Final Fantasy 16 or something like that.
So let me go to you, Fan, before I give my thoughts. What are you thinking, Fan?
I mean, like any like first party games, I don't think they'll do any announcements. They might like replay some of like already the known like trailers and stuff that are out. I'd feel like they probably focus more on like indie games that are, kind of pushing the envelope. Like that's what I think they'll probably do for any announcements. Will probably be more indie games for
Okay.
third party games, but no first party ones. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's why I disagree with both of you. When it comes to Tears of the Kingdom, I think they will show something because if you remember, Breath of the Wild, some of the first footage that was seen was actually at the Video Game Awards, where Miyamoto was there with Eiji Onuma, and they were showing off the Wii U, and they showed off the open world where he took the glider out and came out, and then he was in the forest, and then he was running there, and then they were saying like, "Oh, you see that mountain over there? Well, yeah, you can go all the way to that mountain." That was one of the first gameplay footage, and they showed that. And then there was another trailer that they showed off at the Game Awards as well. I believe the first trailer actually of Breath of the Wild was shown at the Game Awards as well. Like the actual like trailer where we had the new look of Link and stuff like that. So that's why I think Tears of the Kingdom might show up. It might not at the same time, but I mean I think this would be like the good.
That was 5 years ago.
Whenever Breath of the Wild came out, or before Breath of the Wild came out. No, this was like maybe 4 years before Breath of the Wild. So that would have been like 13 or something like that. Like,
And
so
they weren't doing directs then.
they were,
correct?
yeah, they were doing directs. That's around
Yeah.
the same time they started doing Nintendo directs.
So it's around the same time that they started,
Mhm.
but now they switched over to like almost direct exclusive for their announcements.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't think it's going to show up because
Because they've got Indie World and
yeah.
all that
So
stuff too,
because they
so.
said they wouldn't even be at E3
Yeah.
if it was the E3 because of directs. So
well, I mean, it's a little bit different. They can still do like small announcements, right? Like Bayonetta 3, for example, was announced at Video Game Awards, right? I know that's
Nintendo
not.
first party.
It's not,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's technically Platinum Games, but they publish it, so they still have to get like Nintendo's like say in that because they published that. I don't know. I think because like Jeff Keighley has a strong relationship with them, we might see Tears of the Kingdom. Also Final Fantasy 16, I think something might be shown because what's his name? Yoshi P. There we go. Yoshi P did say that Final Fantasy 16 is kind of like at the ending stages, and that announcement should be coming very soon, by the end of the month. So I think there might be like another trailer that just say the exact date of when Final Fantasy 16 will be coming out. So there's that. So I do think something like that might happen. But yeah, other than that, like I don't expect huge announcements, right? I'm not expecting like Mass Effect 4 gameplay, or technically Mass Effect 5, right? Whatever they're gonna call it. I don't expect anything like that or anything like groundbreaking. But I guess we'll wait and see what they do. I'm still hopeful of something, because Tears of the Kingdom, they've still been very quiet. Like literally the 3 trailers or the 3 gameplay clips we've seen are literally the same thing over and over again. So
Well, there weren't even there weren't even like actual live gameplay. It was just like clips.
yeah, I mean, well, some of it was live, like the second trailer, like how remember, like he does a time stop thing. He has like the flamethrower hand thing. How
Well, I
he's
mean, like actual like live gameplay is what
yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah, like them in front of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping for some good stuff, because we're gonna be streaming that, so I want some good announcements. So
But we'll see.
yeah, we'll wait and see. All right, and that brings us to video game 20 questions. All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's let the games begin. Let's see if you guys can go with another win. Let me get my pen out so I can keep track of the questions there.
Okay. Did it come out after 2000?
Hold on one second. How does this pen work? What the? How the heck? All right, this pen is too complicated. Let me find another one. Can't get this pen to open. I don't know how it opens. All right. Did it come out after 2000? Yes.
Yep. Okay. Did it come out after 2010?
Hold on. Let me double check that for you. No.
All right. So, all right, 10-year period.
10-year period. Okay.
So we got 2010. What? So we have Xbox, PS2, GameCube, and then the 360, PS3, Wii U, and then like DSs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, what do you
Like,
want to do?
You got PSP, Game Boys, and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So you want to? Should we narrow it down if it's on
a handheld or home console?
Yeah. Yeah. So did it release on a handheld? Is that what should we ask?
Yeah.
Did it release on a handheld
Yes.
gaming console? Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So it's either a PSP or a game.
Should we ask
Game Boy DS.
if it released on a Nintendo handheld console?
Yeah. Because if it's yes, then yeah.
Yeah. Did it release on a Nintendo handheld console?
No.
Oh, so we have what? We have what? We just have the PSP pretty much, right? Between 2000 and 2010.
Yeah, unless he's including mobile games. But now I'm gonna.
Mobile. There wasn't really that many mobile games.
Yeah, it was like
that time.
Yeah, not maybe towards the end.
We can ask if it's on a cell phone.
Yeah, I doubt. Yeah. I'm trying to remember when the
because the only other
03, 04
PSP, there might be the PSP and the PS with Vita.
I'm trying to remember when the Vita came out. I think the Vita came out after 2010 though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it came
Should
out
we
in
ask if
2011.
it's on the PSP? We can ask that.
Yeah.
Is it on the PSP?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. He's gonna pick like a super obscure like JRPG Japanese only PSP game.
I don't really know a lot about PSP games.
I had one, but I stuck to like the main
right.
like IP titles like Tekken and
the most obscure one I know is Freedom Wars. Oh no, that was on the Vita. Never mind.
Yeah.
So context clues.
Yeah.
Should we see if it's a JRPG? Or just an RPG in general? Does RPG encompass JRPGs? If you ask us to RPG?
I would assume so. I mean, it's
Yeah. Should we just ask if it's a JRPG, kind of to be more specific?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So is it a JRPG?
No.
Mm,
Okay.
probably Daxter. That came out on the PSP. um, trying to think.
So we're gonna have to nail down genres then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Another shooter games, but weren't very many.
Is it a shooter?
And then there was obviously fighting games.
So
Oh,
are you asking that question or you're okay?
hold on. Fighting games. He likes fighting games, so we can ask if it is an arcade style or if it is a fighting game in the vein of like Tekken or Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it a fighting game?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Not a JRPG and not a fighting game. Should we ask if it's first person shooter? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'm
Or
trying to.
should we ask if it's a third person shooter or a shooter in general? I think that'll be. Is it like a shooter?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
There was a Killzone
Yeah.
game on the PSP.
It was. I think it was called Liberation.
Yeah, and I think he is a fan of Killzone. And I'm trying to think
Right.
a shooter.
That's like the only shooter game that I know for Sony like IPs other than like Call of Duty and whatnot.
Right. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Do we want to ask if it's part
Shoot.
of a Killzone franchise?
We could. Yeah. 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 Is it part of the Killzone franchise?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So what other shooters were on the PSP?
I'm at a complete blank. Shooter. Wait. I'm trying to go back to my younger self walking into GameStop and looking at games.
Mm.
What did I see on the shelf? I don't know, dude. Wait, no. I keep like thinking Vita games were on the PSP. But the PSP is a shooter. What shooters games? I can't even think of what shooter games were on the PSP. Should we? I don't know.
Star Wars had a shooting game. Was it one of the?
Should we ask if it's a Sony first party?
We can, yeah.
Is it a Sony first party?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Shoot. So it's definitely not Star
Wait,
Wars.
did Final Fantasy release a shooter? Like, wasn't there was
It was that Cerberus game, wasn't it?
was
Or
it?
whatever.
Should we
By
ask
the way,
if it's a Final Fantasy?
that's 10 questions already. Just to let you guys know.
Okay.
Should we ask if it's a Final Fantasy game or a Square Enix game? Well, no, because he said it's.
No.
Oh, I know what it is, bro. It's the Uncharted game that was on PSP. Like it's a shooter. It's a shooter, dude. Like was the main character's name Drake?
No.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure that was on the Vita.
Was it? No, it was on
Yeah,
PSP.
because they had the whole thing where like you swipe your fingers on the back to climb
you're
up
right.
a rope.
You're right.
Okay, so the only other like shooter game I can think of like back in the day, what was the one with the dude that was like stealth shooter with the night vision goggles?
Splinter Cell?
Yeah, was it one of the Splinter Cell games? Wasn't there a Splinter Cell game?
On the PSP, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's not a Sony first party.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm trying to
It's not
think.
a. It would have to. The only shooter we would have to see. Wait, but Final Fantasy wouldn't be a Sony first party, would it? I don't think it would. We can ask if it's a Final Fantasy game just to get it out of the way.
Sure. I mean, I
Is it
can't think of anything else.
Is it a Final Fantasy game?
No.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get us on this one since we don't know. I don't know PSP ones too much.
I don't know PSP. Yeah, a
So,
shooter.
should we ask if it's first person or third person?
We were there
'Cause
any first person on the PSP?
I'm pretty sure there was some first person. There has to be some first person shooter games. I mean,
Yeah. Is it a third person shooter?
Yes.
so it was one of those third person shooters. Okay.
Okay, Sony first party third person shooter. What franchises do they have that could have been? Is it? I wonder. Daxter from Jack and Daxter was on the PSP.
Yeah, but I would consider that more of a platformer.
Right.
But
But you had
I would think I would say Ratchet would be more of a Ratchet and Clank would be more of a shooter, third person shooter, because that's pretty much all it was. It was just shooting.
They had Clank. It wasn't where you just played Clank. It wasn't Ratchet and Clank, I think.
Pretty.
Like, I don't think there was a.
Do you want to ask if it's? Do you want to ask if it's part of the Ratchet and Clank series? Because
yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah. Is it part of the Ratchet and Clank series?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it part of the Jack and Daxter series?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
That's
literally
15
like
questions.
I'm literally like we're so close, but we just don't know the games. Like, like that's the problem. We narrowed it down so hard, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah.
But it's a first party game, so it's an original.
Yeah. I don't even know. I'm trying to. So between 2000 and 2010, we have a first party Sony game on the PSP. Yo, no, never mind.
What are you gonna say?
Not the shooter.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say I think there was a God of War game on there. That's a first party, but
yeah, that was a. Yeah, that's not a shooter. I'm just gonna ask: Is it one of the is it a part of the Splinter series?
No.
Dang it. Okay.
That's 16. You have 3 questions and a guess.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
I'm trying to think first party in that time period on a PSP.
Yeah.
That's a third person shooter, and it's not Killzone. I feel like when I hear the name, I'm gonna be so upset. It's somewhere in the crevices of my brain. It's just not.
Unless he picked like the most weirdest obscure game like that we've never heard of.
I don't know, Dan.
I mean,
I'm about. I don't even know what questions to ask because I don't know any games. I'm about to just call a forfeit. Because like I can't. The only thing is like if we start asking studio names, but then I still don't know the game.
Exactly.
I mean? Like because like we narrowed it down to the point it's a third person shooter on a PSP, Sony first party. But what? Wait. What about wasn't Siphon Filter on there? That was a big one back then.
I think it was. Is that the Tom Clancy Siphon Filter, or is that
No,
something completely different?
it's like a I believe it's like kind of like a tactic style game. It's like it's a super old school game. It was popular back in the day. I think there was one on the PS. I don't know if it's a Sony first party though. I don't know the developer.
I mean, we're at 18 questions, so if you just want to throw that out, like
yeah, is it a Siphon
guess.
Filter game?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only other thing I could think of. There. I don't know.
Yeah,
We have what, one question left or two questions
You
left?
have yeah, 2 questions and I guess.
Okay. Is it a Naughty Dog game?
No.
Okay.
What's another shooter game?
We have one question left.
I'm trying to think of what other shooter games.
I don't know.
Trying to think if there was like a specific shooter game. But no, I think those are first person shooters.
Did we ask if it's a Final Fantasy game?
You did, yeah.
No, we did.
Yeah. I was thinking it might have been one of those like Rainbow Six type games, but it's not first party because obviously.
Right. I don't know.
Or SOCOM or whatever they call them now.
SOCOM. Yeah, no, it might have been back then. I don't know. I mean, you can go ahead and ask. I don't really have anything.
Was it a SOCOM game?
No.
Yeah.
That leaves you with a guess.
Yeah.
You want to guess it or you want to
I really have no
Well,
idea
yeah.
what I would even guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So you give up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I won. All right. And here we are. The game is released in March 20th, 2009. The game is Resistance Retribution.
Wow. I feel like I knew it. I feel like an idiot, dude. Oh, I knew it, dude. I knew I was gonna know the game.
So it
That's
is.
one of those games like I forgot completely about, dude. Like,
Yep.
And I played all of them except
Yeah.
the PSP one.
Resistance was a great game. So it's funny because the Resistance Retribution was actually a third-person shooter, where the PS3 games were first-person shooters. They were almost like they were similar to Gears of War in terms of like plot
Yeah.
lines. Very similar to Gears of War, and they were good games. Like I enjoyed it. They had a I don't know if you remember this, the multiplayer for PS3 where you have classes. Like you'll have like a medic class and all that, and they're basically like hordes you would fight. So yeah. But yeah, on PSP it came out with a third person. It was a lot more story based, and it was actually really good. I played it all the way through, and it was really fun. But yeah, Siphon Filter is a first party
Is
Sony
it?
game, and that was originally what I was gonna pick, but I decided not to. But yeah, it is a first party Sony game, and it was developed by Ben Studios, who did Days Gone, and they also did
Okay.
Ben Studio also did the Uncharted game for Vita, which would be funny because if I would have chosen that game and you would have said it's a Naughty Dog game, it is not because it was developed by Ben Studios.
Oh, true. Okay.
So, but yeah, you guys were close. You were close. You guys mentioned SOCOM and Siphon Filters. Oh man, good thing I stood away from those games. Like,
Oh, right. I can't believe I forgot about that because that was like so big when it came out.
Mhm.
Like there was Resistance games where like I don't even know why they stopped making them.
they
Honestly,
just out of nowhere they just stopped, and they were
They
great
just stopped.
games. Yeah,
they were everywhere, dude. They were
Yep.
killing it with that, dude, and they just stopped.
they just. I mean, I think Sony was trying to make the Halo killer, and they just couldn't.
Yeah,
And that's what they went there. But the Resistance was fun. Like I really enjoyed it. I played all 3 of them, and all 3 of them were great games.
I think it still like holds up too.
Yeah.
I think that they're pretty good with it.
They're basically just Gears of War in first person. Like that's literally the best way
Right.
to describe it. Is Gears of War in first person. They were pretty hard too. Like they're pretty tough. So yeah, but yeah, next time that gives me 1 point. There we go.
Yeah.
one win. But next week you'll have a special guest to help you out. So we'll see if you can get this next game. There.
I'm not losing again.
Just go through Wikipedia and just try to soak
You
in all
made
this
me
information.
experience the taste of defeat, and I will never forgive you for this. Like,
I'll like I said, I always said I'll try to make sure that you guys it's a game that you guys should know. I'm not gonna put like some obscure game that like nobody ever played or
Well,
anything
yeah,
like
that
that.
would be too unfair.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of those kind of games. Like, especially if you pick like a weird hentai game or
Yeah.
something, dude. Like, no one's gonna. Yeah.
No,
Or one of those weird like puri bubble shooter like random games.
no, yeah, it would always be something it should be known for sure. But that's all we have for today. I do like to thank everybody who's joined us for the stream. We really appreciate your support. Fan, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter at Phaneckswhy.
What about you, Mike? Where can they find you at?
Right here, boy.
And me, of course. You can find me right here. Once again, thanks everybody for joining us. Don't forget, we are live streaming the Game Awards at Thursday. We should be live around 6:30. We'll play around that time frame because I got to double check to see exactly when the Game Awards starts. But expect us to be live around between 6:30 and 7 o'clock for sure. We will be live streaming the whole Game Award for sure, live in front of everybody. So definitely get that popcorn out and just come hang out with us while we watch the Game Awards together. It's gonna be
Hit that follow on Twitch so you get alerted. Hit that follow
yes,
and bell on YouTube so you get alerted.
yes.
Notifications, man.
Did
They're
all of
great.
that. We're at 130 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Unfortunately, we're still at 68 followers on Twitch, but we hope to build up that for sure. But yeah, like always, thanks for joining us. My name is James from the Random Encounter, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.